ready to go?
Yes, it's live if you want to move forward.
All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order, and we do have a quorum.
Where?
You have minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the March meeting.
So move.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Uh,
Okay, we will move to public comments. Is there anyone online wishing to make any public comments?
We haven't received any comments for this meeting.
Okay. We will move then to number 4, Dollar General subdivision plat. Have anyone to speak to that?
Can you bring it up and let us look at it, Mark?
I'm working on that as we speak.
Okay, appreciate it.
So that's what it's gonna look like.
Yeah, there it is. I finally found the right one there. Okay.
So this is just the minor plat revision.
This is the minor subdivision, and since it's commercial property, it's not subject to our subdivision moratorium. As I looked over it, I thought that everything was in compliance, but of course that's up to y'all to discuss if you think you need to.
We don't have a minimum of road frontage on the commercial, do we?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But being a corner lot like that, I think, but the existing parcel or the new parcel and the remaining portion look like they both would
Quite a
have
bit.
adequate frontage.
Yeah.
Mark, this is just a question. I know we're chopping out the 1.56 acres from the 6.67 because we have the design review and the site plan requirements. At this time, we wouldn't have to do anything with the 6.67 acres as far as stormwater detention basin, nothing like that, because that would fall under a future site plan. Would that be an accurate assumption?
I think so. I'll let Todd confirm that if he's on here.
Yes, and I was muted myself, but yeah, until it's ready to be developed, we don't
Okay.
have to come up with a plan for it yet.
Okay. Yeah. As far as just a simple property division, I think it appears to meet the criteria. I'd make a motion we approve the plat as drawn.
I have a motion to approve the plat as drawn. Do I have a second?
I second it.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any other discussion? All in favor
Stacy.
say aye.
Hold on one second. Stacy, are you okay with everything?
Yeah, I am. I already looked over it, and the only concern I had was the flag lot thing, and that doesn't apply since it's commercial, and it does have enough adequate road frontage on both roads. So I think we're good with that.
And the other Stacy, you're
I'm
okay with it? You're good.
Yeah, the important Stacy is the one you were talking about.
No, both of you is important.
Yeah, we looked at this last month also, and there were a few minor revisions.
Sure.
Last month was preliminary, and they've made all those.
They've tidied up their little punch list. Okay. Yep. So as long as the planning department or the planner is good, my motion stands.
All right, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. I heard all four. Okay, let's move on to the next. I'm waiting, let's see. To the design approval. There's the pretty picture.
we have Mr. Felici on here to answer any questions about the materials.
So it's a cement board. Is it brick veneer at the bottom with cement board above?
I'm not sure what the client intends for this particular site. I believe it's going to be brick, though, just identical to the finish of the picture you're looking at right now. This is a site that was completed in Santa Fe,
Okay.
In Murray County. The only difference between this and the building we're doing here in Chapel Hill is that this proposed building will be a corner entry.
Okay.
If you'll notice that when you look at the renderings.
Yes, I think my only comment on the rendering would be to confirm that the veneer, the masonry veneer around the lower 3.5 or 4 foot of the building is not just regular painted cement block. Just make sure it's not a painted CMU. We would rather have some type of it appears to be brick, but a brick or a stone, not a painted cement block.
Or it can't be a split face block either, can it, Isaac?
I don't think so, because we changed our design review guidelines after the building in the heart of town, the old Walmart building. So, but it looks like it's a king size brick. It looks like oversized bricks, which would be fine. Just just make sure that the property owner knows that it's not. I mean, because you can't really tell. It don't look like there's a label on it. Just make sure that it is not painted concrete masonry unit.
Is the hardy board style material, is that acceptable in our regulations?
I believe we did approve cement board, just no vinyl siding and no concrete block.
No vinyl, no metal, no concrete block, I think
right.
is basically what we said.
Yeah, for the wall covering, correct.
Right.
So the right elevation, is that going to be the elevation of the building, or is it going to be the first one that we looked at with a front entry?
The picture that you saw, the photo, was actually just an example of the exterior finish.
Okay.
This is the actual building.
Okay.
So the front elevation would face Eagleville Pike 99, and the right elevation would face 31A. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Any other discussion? Entertain a motion.
What was the concern that Stacy brought up earlier today about the sign? Stacy, do you want to talk about that, or what your concern was on that?
Yeah, there's a certain amount of square footage of signage that they're supposed to be able to do, but it's per side. And I thought that it was inclusive, altogether, but it's not. It's per side. Mark's got
those would be considered wall signs, and they're allowed up to 50 square feet for each road frontage. And I think those come in at 44 square feet total. So I would, I do believe that they are in compliance.
It'd be fine. Okay. All right.
On the elevation, the only question I would have, just it looks like the rear elevation, there's 2 raised heat and air units. Is there going to be some type of a screening or lattice or something around those units? Simply being on a corner lot, there's no way to hide the rear of a building on a corner lot. On a straight lot there is, but on a corner lot, you're going to be able to see the rear of the building from somewhere. Is there any plan to make that attractive where the 2 raised HVAC units are going to go?
Let me ask you this, is the rear elevation, is it on the Eagleville Pike side, or is it on the north side of?
No, I think that would be the north.
I
think that would be the north side on 31A. So you would see that coming into town. As you come into town, you would be seeing, looking at that. Is there?
I got you. I just wanted to make sure I knew that which side was which.
Yeah. Is there any proposed solution for making that attractive? Is there something that can be done?
We do have a requirement for screening of
mechanical
HVAC systems on the roof. Todd, would that also apply to this situation?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how that's worded. And I guess with the adjacent property being commercial as well, there's not I'm trying to remember the site plan to see if there was any landscaping on that side
No,
at
I
I
all.
don't
don't
think
believe
it's
we
required.
do. I'm sure we could provide some evergreen plantings around there as we did for the dumpster.
Sure.
Those are pretty tall. Looking at the elevation, they appear fairly tall. I don't think there's any practical way to screen them in their entirety, but certainly could soften them up a little bit with some landscape screening around them.
Yeah, well, and depending on the air intake requirements, I mean, would the property owner consider building a raised hardy plank, just a little parapet or fake wall more or less around the units to screen them if they're too tall off? I mean, it looks like the bottom of the units are 10 foot off the ground. If it's not feasible to screen them with landscaping, would the developer consider or the property owner consider some type of a raised wall screening around them so that you're not coming into town from the north just staring at the backside of a heat and air unit?
I'm certain he'll consider
Okay.
viable options. I can discuss that with him. And
Yeah, I think that would be just something, and again, if it were on a true rear where you couldn't see it from the road, I think it would be fine. But on a corner lot like that, especially on the main corridor coming into town, I think it would be wise to, which heck, 10 years from now, there may be another building hiding it, but right now there's not.
Yeah,
I
Mark, and
do-
unless we changed this, which I don't think we did, that the copy of the design guidelines that I have specifically says that utilitarian elements such as electrical equipment, air conditioning equipment, and the like should be screened from public view. So I think we can make that a requirement that
Okay.
be screened.
it may be possible that those could be rearranged to be roof mounted on the back side of that main roof and screened on the roof. I'm not sure if that's viable for them to consider that as a possibility.
Yeah, well, I think being on a corner lot, the back, anywhere you put them in that particular location, they would either be visible from Eagleville Pike 99 coming in or from 31A, coming south. But I think if they either lowered them and put some landscaping around them or design some type of a hardy plank wall or some type of attractive wall to screen the units, I think that would be satisfactory.
Okay.
Did I hear Todd say that our regulations require that?
I think so.
They be
Yes.
screened, so
Yeah.
that is the requirement. Okay.
So
Any other?
with that being a requirement, I would make a motion to approve the site plan with that condition that with two conditions: the veneer around the lower portion of the building cannot be painted block. It would have to be, some type of brick or other approved masonry surface, and that the two heat and air units on the north face of the building or the rear face of the building be screened somehow in a satisfactory method. And I would assume with that contingency that could just be handled by Mark or an email sent out. Would that be acceptable, Mark?
Yes, sir. I think so.
I mean,
I have
would evergreen trees be acceptable to us?
I don't know that the units are sitting too high right now. I think if they were able to lower the units closer to the ground, I certainly think evergreen trees or shrubbery of some kind would be acceptable. Right? If the bottom of the unit right now is at 10 foot off the ground, the top of the unit is probably 15 foot off the ground. That
Maybe some pretty pricey trees.
yeah, I think the way they're drawn right now, it would be tough to screen them. You'd have to have some awful tall trees.
Yeah, it looks like they probably want the ventilation through that roof. So
Yeah.
go through the ceiling access because it makes it easier to lay out the store too.
Which if you lowered them and had your ductwork going up on the outside, of course that would need to be with a hardy, not just a sheet metal shroud. It would need to be with a, wrapped with framing and hardy. of some
Basically
type.
chased correctly.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Chase it and wrap the chase with Hardy. Yeah.
Okay, I have a,
With that requirement, I think it would be good.
I have a motion and a second. You ready to vote?
Yes.
All in favor, let it know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries.
Thank y'all.
Other business.
Mark,
No,
do we have any updates on water and sewer? Anything new since we last discussed it?
We don't, you know, I haven't spoken with the county in a little while. You know, they're still on course to do their two distribution projects, as far as I know. And then as far as our wastewater go, our last action was to instruct our engineering firm to give us a report on our wastewater treatment capacity. And I think we said 90 days. And that's, I think, probably about halfway there right now.
Okay.
So that'll be the next thing we get our hands on is a report from the engineer on our capacity at our wastewater treatment plant.
Any other discussion of other business? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Have a motion to have a second.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. I'm logging off. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.